former master of Owen, watchmaker Peter Hovenden has made Owen Warland heir to his watchmaking legacy due to Peter's poor, deteriorating eyesight. It has been 6 months since Owen inherited the shop.
What is Owen Warland be about?
Perhaps, Father, he may be inviting a new kind of timekeeper.
A new kind of timekeeper. I know that boy well enough to know what he is doing has nothing to do with watches. He can't invent anything better than a Dutch toy, a plague to my legacy.
Hush, Father. He might hear us. His ears are as sensitive as his feeling. Come, let's move on.
Robert Danforth is a renowned blacksmith in town, and Peter intends for her daughter to marry someone like Robert, someone grounded to reality, unlike Owen who is up the clouds. He deems that brute strength is what one needs in life.
Instead of a watchmaker, why not marry someone like Robert?
I don't know.
Owen had been remarkable for a delicate ingenuity, producing pretty shapes in wood, figures of flowers and birds, and aims at the hidden mysteries of mechanism. But it was always for purposes of grace and never for it to be useful. Owen attempts to imitate the beautiful movements of nature, being once carried to see a steam engine, hoping to spark his comprehension of mechanical principles. He turned pale and grew sick as if something monstrous and unnatural had been presented to him. The boy's relatives saw nothing better to be done, as perhaps there was not, than to bind him apprentice to a watchmaker, hoping that his strange ingenuity might be regulated and put to utilitarian purposes.
Owen,
Thank you, Robert. It is per requested.
Ah yes, I'll put more strength into one blow of my sledgehammer than all that you can, since you were an apprentice. Is that not true?
Probably. Strength is an earthly monster. My force altogether is spiritual.
So, people say you've been inventing perpetual motion?
Nonsense! I don't invent such things. Ah, here you go.
Thank you.
I'll screw off.
All my musings, my passion for the beautiful, my consciousness to create ethereal power, all looks so vain whenever my path is crossed with Robert Danforth. His hard brute force darkens and confuses my inner spiritual element, but I will not yield to him.
Owen made a fatal stroke. It is all over the toy of months.
I'm ruined!
He sat in strange despair until his lamp flickered in the socket and left the artist of the beautiful in darkness. When at last it was uplifted to the light of day, a cold, dull, nameless change dawned on Owen. He started to take his business seriously. He inspected a great old silver watch and was even invited to regulate the church's clock. The town people praised him for his coming to sense.
Owen, my boy.
I've heard so many wonderful accounts of you these days. Free yourself from the nonsense about the beautiful, and your success will be assured. What kind of witchcraft is this?
Do not touch it! The slightest touch would ruin it. If it weren't for you and this coarse, harsh world, I would have achieved what I was created for.
During summer, he spent his time in the woods along the river chasing butterflies. The artist may not content himself with the inward enjoyment of the beautiful, but must chase the mystery beyond his ethereal domain and seize it with a material grasp.
You are so taken up with putting spirit into your machinery, aren't you, Owen? Come, explain to me. Quickly, what is the meaning of this little thing?
No, Annie, no. Go, Annie, go.
I yearned for sympathy and dreamt that you might give it me, but you lack the talisman, Annie, that should admit you into my secrets. That touch has undone the toil of months and the thought of a lifetime. It was not your fault, Annie, but you have ruined me.
He resumed his wanderings in the woods and fields. The butterfly was indeed a spirit commissioned to recall him to the pure, ideal life that had so etherealized him. The town people think that he has gone mad, but maybe he is mad. The lack of sympathy from people was enough to make him so. His sorrow came to him. The angel of his life had been snatched away and given to a rude man of earth and iron. There was nothing left for Owen Wallen but to sit down like a man that had been stunned.
Now for my task. Never did I feel such strength, such strong strength in me. I'm gonna start.
It was his fortune, good or ill, to achieve the purpose of his life. He went through a long space of intense thought, yearning effort, minute toil, and wasting anxiety, succeeded by an instant of solitary triumph, and then behold the artist, on a winter evening, seeking admittance to Robert Danforth's fireside circle.
So, have you created it?
Yes, I have.
Is it okay if you tell us the secret?
Annie, I know it's quite late, but this is your bridal gift. I have brought this spiritualized mechanism, a mystery of a beauty. This is for you, if you know how to value this.
Beautiful, beautiful. Is it alive?
Alive? Yes. It's maybe said to possess life. Like it has absorbed a soul of an artist, a beautiful artist.
It sure is remarkable, but what use of it? Spending years, but nothing compared to my sledgehammer.
Father, what have you done?
It has a spiritual essence, the butterfly. It's a magnet. It could send souls that value the beautiful and those who aren't. It's already lost its beauty.
Owen Wallen, he looked placidly at what seemed the ruin of his life's labor, but he had caught a far other butterfly than this. When the artist rose high enough to achieve the beautiful, he doesn't mind about others. His spirit has possessed itself in the enjoyment of the reality.